Hello there. Welcome. Let's give our crowd a few minutes to roll in before we get started. All right. Let's hope that we have gotten a few people here online with us and start warming up for the theme of today. So my name is Sanni Juoperi. I am working at Howspace, have been here for quite some time, and I think this is the most exciting thing and story that I have gotten the chance to share for a really long time. So I'm super excited about today. And I won't be here alone. So I would actually like to invite two professionals here to the stage with me. So Juha Paavilainen from the Football Association of Finland, and then my colleague Mikko Siljander, who has a lot of hands-on experience of working with learning. Welcome here to the stage with me. And I will ask you to. I will ask you to share a few more words about yourselves soon. But just to set the stage a little bit, what are we doing here today? So we are going to talk about collaborative learning, as we have promised. We are talking about how to increase engagement and participation in learning. We have a really cool example of building a major learning program in a networked organization. And we will share practical insights and also look at some new capabilities of the Howspace product. So we have a packed agenda for today, but we are super excited. Juha, would you like to just introduce yourself really briefly to begin?
Yeah, of course. My name is Juha Paavilainen, and my position in Football Association of Finland was before digital education specialist, and at the moment I work as a development manager of our e-academy. So my job is to coordinate the development of this digital platform and digital learning environment. That is more or less briefly what I am doing in Finnish FA.
Sounds like we have the right person at the right place to
I hope
share
so.
the story. How about you, Mikko?
Yes, hey, my name is Mikko Siljander and I'm Howspaceian. That means that my job in Howspace is to make our customers success. And I think it's great. Otherwise, I'm a trainer. I have been training in quite many organizations, and I'm a coach and facilitator, and all those things I have done with the Howspace. So that's the kind of my perspective and view where I come from this lovely event, and I'm super excited to all these discussions what we will have soon. Great to be here.
That's super great. And from the technical point of view, just reminding that we have the workspace that you are watching this webinar in as well. And we really want to make this interactive. So thank you so much for sharing your reflections and introductions already beforehand. And under this stream, you also have the ability to ask questions anytime. So we will lift some back to the studio. So just drop your questions anytime. And also if there would be anyone needing any technical support or help, you can also just drop those under the stream, and we have some people helping there on the background as well. But hey, to get warmed up, I think we could take a look at the pre-engagement that we did. So I'm just going to briefly share my screen from the workspace, and it's really nice to see some introductions still dropping in. That's super helpful. But let's look at what are our biggest learning and development issues right now, and we will use something called AI prompting. So luckily we have quite a few answers here, and to make sense of them together, let's ask AI what are the top 5 themes that the participants today would like to learn more about, and see what the AI tells us here. All right. What we want to learn most about today is building visibility and identifying capabilities in new teams. Always an interesting development challenge. Acquiring new digital skills and software knowledge. I think that we can help with today as well. Leading workspace learning and formal staff strategic development processes. I think Juha will have quite practical topics on that. Social learning, peer-to-peer, and creating learning teams. I think that's also something that me and Mikko will start picking in quite soon already. And then number 5, rapid experimentation and sharing learnings from experiments. And what is more crucial in the world like we live in today than being able to do experiments and learn from them when the world around us is changing the whole time. So let's see how far we get with all of these important themes today, and let's stay tuned for more, of course, if we don't cover everything. I will post this summary here as a reminder if anyone wants to come back to it later, that this was our collective L&D view on L&D challenges right now. Thank you for that. And me and Mikko will start setting the scene a little bit. So I will share our presentation for today. And just to dig a little bit deeper before we go into Juha's interesting story, that, okay, why are we here from Howspace talking about learning today? And we want to start from this, that even though we are talking about training programs and like different formal training initiatives, we are strong believers in this 70-20-10 model of learning, which was originally built for leadership training purposes, but we see it's quite a good description of the different ways that learning works in an organization. So the kind of traditional learning where you attend formal courses or you have training days or something like that maybe only covers like 10% of how learning is actually happening in organizations. And then we have this whole 90% where we learn in the flow of work and we learn from our peers. And we in organizations really should be also curious about how can we support those elements and not just be happy with achieving the 10% and checking the box. I would like to ask Mikko, maybe some reflections from you. Can you share a little bit about your own story around working with learning and how this applies to you?
Yes, thanks. And it's inspiring to see this every time, because this is kind of my story when I started when I found Howspace and step by step learned how to use it. But it's I could say that it's very concrete example that first of all I started with the 10%. I used to work in a membership organization, and we did a lot of trainings and we used digital tools, but there was some challenges in those tools, and one of the things were that it wasn't so engaging. People felt it was very, very rough, heavy kind of, and the thing, it didn't work with this. And that was a thing as a trainer, I wanted them to engage, contribute during the courses and trainings. And the analysis was that they didn't do it. And then I start to search for something else. And so the 10% was my reason I need a tool which works. And then I learned and heard about Howspace, and I got the chance to test that tool. And then what happened, it was that, okay, when we used it, it was like a peer-to-peer learning process to us. That, okay, how these things work when we do these trainings. And quite soon, it was like a social learning came into that learning process, and step by step we use it, we get proof, okay, it works, everything, people seems to be happy, they use it, analyze it so that they use it. We ask them in different widgets and make them live that, okay, is this true, what happens? And then when our organization and individuals learn from those experiences, learning by doing, we managed to get new ideas. Okay, we could start to use it in this field of in this community as well, or we have this community or group with different organizations. Could we use it in that purpose as well? And so it changed our mindset, and we kind of we have laughed many times that, okay, in the beginning we didn't know that this is possible, and just by learning by doing, things happens. So that's the kind of contribution and what I have seen. And for example, last weekend I had a live training session, and what is very important in Howspace, we believe that there is a lot of energy before some event, a lot of motivation, and people wants to do things. So before the event, we can start engaging people to that event, and then during the live or webinar or online course during the event, that we can engage everybody to contribute. And then after the event, people still have the ideas. And for example, that weekend, what I had, we managed to get 100% contribution there. Everyone was contributing many times, and it's still going on, the discussion and learning. And so that's the thing, why I'm so excited about Howspace, that it makes these things true, and the easiness of is very important, that people feel that it's easy. For example, last weekend, nobody never used Howspace before, and there was some worries maybe before that, okay, could we use it and so on. And I said, it's to a Howspace that it's very important that everybody can use it without tutorials or something like that. If you have used some kind of social media, you can work with the Howspace easily. And it happens.
So you're already, Mikko, dipping your toe into these kind of different main themes that, okay, the world is full of learning platforms, but what kind of learning are we talking about when we are talking about learning? So would you just want to briefly walk us through these key themes, and then we let Juha go even further on what they look like in practice?
Yeah, about that, for example, social learning and peer-to-peer learning is like the experience from the last weekend. Okay, I give some kind of ideas of things, and then people did group work, and and puts everything on in Howspace, and then we work with the data. So one of the things about that it's not just they are not just receivers there. They are like very important contributors and can talk about their feelings and ideas, and there's a lot of different widgets, features that we can make things live, and so it's much, the experience is much more deeper. I think that's the one of the key insights what I have had. And then about this learning by doing, which is very important. Like, for example, a lot of training courses I have seen in my life, unfortunately, that people are in a training course and then they go out. They are there, and maybe there is no platform anymore. There could be a Facebook group or WhatsApp group or whatever, but it's not like it's a different story. And now with the Howspace, we have had these good examples that people can be excited about their success. I changed something after this training course. I learned something, and I did try it in a real life, and yes, I did it, and I'm happy about it. And then somebody else can say, hey, thank you for sharing that. Now I have had doubts or something, so maybe I could be brave enough and courage to do it as well. And reflect those experiences, and then they can conquer something new. And even though if there is something, okay, it didn't work out so well, so what did I did wrong, or things like that. So there is in trusted atmosphere, you can share those experiences, and that's one of the things which I like, kind of like it, because one of the things has been Howspace. It's easy. There is a joy of learning. You have to have good times. You can build that. You can do that, and that's one of the things why people engage. If you can,
you always need that facilitator.
If they feel it's fun.
It needs to be easy and light, and then you need someone to invite and build that space and kind of facilitate that conversation as well, and plan for those engagements. We will dive very much into these themes in Juha's case, but just to practice a little bit Howspace usage here live as well, maybe we put a small exercise around these themes into the workspace as well.
Yeah, and I would like to ask you a question. after
please.
Sanni will give us permission to talk.
Go ahead. You can ask a question before we jump into the exercise.
What did you think, Juha, about this my story, or how do you want to define it?
The one thing that is recognized also in Football Association of Finland and our designing process is that learning has to be easy, accessible. That is how also we think that the 20% of the collaboration part and the 70% of real life learning are able to be achieved. If the platform or environment or the process is too complex, people drop out. They won't continue and they are not participating so much. But with this platform, we also believe that of course, the 10% like education, but 20 and 70% also is able to be achieved.
That's so true. I have learned by doing mistakes as well. Sometimes I have built too complicated workspaces, and then I have had experience. Okay, Mikko, calm down. keep it simple as you can, and then in that way, it's easy to use it. You can and easy to contribute.
Yeah, and as we see in a little bit, our case is still like developing and piloting, and we have been making mistakes also. But those topics that you came up with the easy and more simple, that is what we have been also discovering already in the beginning, that our participants want the platform and materials and courses to be easy and simple, and a lot of participating and collaboration.
What about now? Just one question about this. This was very important. It has to be achievable by mobile phone. How important that has been to you?
Yeah, that was one of the key points when we were designing or planning this new environment. Mobile friendliness and easy access also by mobile devices was more or less the first topic that we wanted to achieve, because we know that our participants and our clients, they use the platform with mostly by phone. I think mostly by phone now, and especially in the future. So the mobile friendliness and access by mobile devices was the first topic.
Yeah, it was. I remember so good that people were, Mikko, your job is to sit next to a computer. We don't. If you would want us to contribute and do things, give us a tool which works with the phone. And I was like, okay, I hear you, I feel you, and that was the point. Yeah. I think I would really like to hear more Juha's story, and I think the participants in this webinar as well. So
yeah, we are all looking forward to hearing Juha's story, and also seeing both the hub that we have and the courses in action. But before that, let's take a really quick engagement in terms of the themes that we talked about. So I think it was easy to identify that that Juha at least maybe saw the ease and lightness and also the social learning as maybe the most important perspectives. But we have some exercise coming up under the stream, so let's see what's the most important part for our participants here. Let's see if our background theme is working. Okay, so now we have a poll question there. I'll just share my screen for a minute for us to look at the answers. So we're not really getting a fully equal share of the pie, but quite equal share of the pie. So learning by doing, very important. Social learning, important. Facilitated learning, important. And ease and accessibility of learning as well. So we didn't really get any clear top one priority out of this group, but I think it's also, of course, that these things are not competing with each other, but they are parts of good learning programs, all of them. But let's give the stage now to Juha and hear a bit more about what does all of this mean in practice. Should we jump in? So I can share the slides from here. And do you want to set the stage for us a little bit, Juha?
Maybe a little bit. We will see some basis of our process until this moment, and in the end of this part, maybe you will see a little bit what our hub is looking at the moment and how we have been designing our workspaces. One example about the workspace, but I give also speech to Mikko. Mikko can lead this up, and I can try to answer as good as I can.
Yeah, I would like to ask you a little bit about this background. What was situation before this Howspace and Howspace hub situation?
Our situation was that we have been using quite a lot of different kind of digital tools, hosting webinars and events. Our coach education department has been using or had been using digital learning environment for 4 or 5 years, and that learning environment was based on Moodle. Although we knew that our user scale is quite wide, and especially when our goal was to take different target groups in to this platform, to offer a platform for whole football family in Finland, we knew that Moodle was satisfying, but it was quite complex to use. So when we started to design our new digital learning environment, we wanted to achieve a platform that would be easy to use either if you are participating an event or training, or if you are designing or hosting an event or training. And we recognize that the value is not our fantastic PowerPoint slides or beautiful platform. Our value has to be the people who are interacting through the platform.
Yes, that there comes to one of the great things that our founder Ilkka Mäkitalo has said, that everything meaningful happens between people. So I think that's one of the things that we have a kind of based ground is very, very similar. But I hear that you say whole football family, and even though Finland is a very great football nation, but there is still there is a lot of people in that football family. If you mean like players and coaches and referees and the players' parents even.
Yeah, like I said before, that our user scale is quite wide, and there are some key figures. So we educate somehow more or less 10,000 people during a year. So we had, when we designed this our new environment, we had maybe 4 like main challenges. We have been offering all these services for all these stakeholders before in some way. The first challenge has been like how we uniform training and events for different target groups for all the stakeholders. Another challenge has been to collect, for example, information about participants. Like I said, we have been using different kind of digital tools, but it hasn't been like uniform way how we have been acting. And one of the challenge was like has been that our experts in different departments design and build trainings and educational events more or less themselves. And we formally haven't had a common basis for these processes. So experts have been working by themselves and doing what they see is the best way. And maybe there's a lot of challenges what we had. The fourth main challenge was related to the fact that the experts in their daily work answer a lot of phone and emails, how some simple thing is working. So that which could be solved in the future with a simple online material or that kind of training. So that is maybe the big basis for these target groups and services what we are offering.
Yeah, and I think it's those challenges and all that thing. You have to have ambition as well and courage when you start to change things like that. And about this collect information, that was so big amount of people that it can be very challengeful. And what about is there some kind of reparation now that how you start to solve those challenges?
The first of all was when we designed this change was that we did a background research, what kind of skill development ways, what kind of services we have at the moment. And then we, of course, knew our stakeholders, our target groups, and then we started to design what kind of platform we need that we could be able to serve all those stakeholders with all those services that we already have. And that was the biggest part of this solution. And now we are progressing step by step further. Our coach education has had already digital learning environment, and of course in their education, in their trainings, digital workspaces. So we have been building those and started to work with those parts first. And now we are designing self-study sets for different kind of target groups, and we are progressing step by step. We believe that if we progress one step, then we make research, we collect feedback, then we learn how our participants and our customers want to work in those workspaces and in the platform. And then we learn ourselves also what kind of materials and courses and trainings and webinars we should do. Of course, we do like now wise guesses, and I believe that we are going to the right way. But of course, the feedback and data what we are collecting is an important role at the moment.
Yes, and I think you said it great. We learned from ourselves as well. That's a big thing. Even though you provide others learning, and so then with that process you learn yourself as well. So great. This journey so far, what have you learned?
We are having different kind of conversations internally because we are now designing this platform together. Previously it was only like coach education part of this designing, but now all our departments are designing this together. So we are having conversations and we recognize similarities, and we are able to combine, for example, support services. Before they were more or less separately, and now we are able to combine those. And of course, the main point is that we are designing common bases for trainings and, for example, webinars and workshops and different kind of continuing education. So maybe that is the biggest part what we are learning. So our experts are now able to concentrate on the content because we have a common platform, we have common workspace templates, the basic is there. So our experts don't have to do everything, they can concentrate on the things that they are on their best.
That's beautiful, beautiful learning. I think, is it fair to say that your culture is changing there as well?
Maybe,
bit by bit.
maybe. I can't say that much at the moment, but at least we think that we are going to definitely to right way, and we are doing something that will be in the future a good choice and will be like changing at least some kind of educational or culture of trainings and courses.
Hey, we are really excited, everyone, to see what it looks like in practice. So Juha, you had some possibilities to also share. How does it look on your side, both from the management side, the hub, and then from the side of the courses? Would you like to share a bit about that?
The first, I can show a little bit our hub, which is like this management part of the system. So we have two blocks. We have like this management part, which is called hub, as you know, and then we have, of course, the workspaces, which are the places where the actual action at the courses or webinars or workshops happens. So this is the main site, and now I am signed in. We have here all our trainings, and it's possible, like in these systems, it's possible to filter by some tag and find trainings. This has been a major progress for our situation at the moment. Of course, now if I want to go to this coaching course, it says that I don't have the qualification, so the system recognizes that I am not capable to go to that course because I don't have the previous course gone. People can find their own courses in their own profile, and of course there is the admin side, which looks like this. So we have course templates, all our trainings are here. We listed about 60,000 users here about 2 months ago, so quite a lot of people are already in this system, and all the qualifications and groups which are like clubs in this football family are here, and all this management system happens here. And now it's mainly, like you saw here, it's mainly coaching courses, but in the future we will have here referee courses for team leaders, courses for technical directors, and like Mikko said, courses also for parents and players. So this will be the home for all the football family to develop their skills.
That's really cool. And just to put it into context, I think we have some complete Howspace newbies in the audience as well. So this part that Juha was showing here was kind of our new launch. It's the management part. And then we will look at something that is called a workspace, which is kind of that heart of building all of those learning programs individually out per learning journey, as one would say, or per webinar, or per coaching or training session or so. Did you, Juha, want to look at something else in between, or should we take a peek at the course right away?
We could take a peek at the workspace, because that is maybe the place that is more interesting. I could change the
Here
language.
we're actually doing some AI live translations. So one cool feature of Howspace is that all material can be translated real time to almost any language. Now we're looking at Finnish to English boringly, but of course in the football family, I guess also there's quite many people who don't always speak Finnish or English as the first language, and they also have the access to the materials in their own language as well.
Yeah, this is true, and we are really happy that in this platform we have this feature, because like you said, we have people that maybe are conversing in English or have some other language background. So this makes certain materials a lot easier to accomplish for participants. But it's a little big for workspace. We have been building in our every course like this intro site, which is presenting the course goals and some information about using the platform. We have been building different training modules, and in this course, this is like a special course to coach path, the first course to football coach path, and this course is a course that includes only one contact day. So here are some modules which are marked by this symbol. It means that these modules are made online at like self-study models. And for example, in these self-study models, we have built a couple of intro questions, conversations with the super chat widget, which offers commenting to everybody when after you have put your own comment there. And then we have some like assignments to accomplish one like self-training module, and then there is guidance to continue this training. We have also built here trainers materials. Previously we used quite a lot of like drive links or something like that to be able to share materials, for example, educators, but now we can build all the materials here in this platform, so we don't need to use that kind of drive links or any other platform addition to this.
Yeah. I just, if I may have a comment for that, there was just one big organization that they said that they have started to think about, could we stop sending emails, because everybody's here, every material is here, and it's not just receiving a material. You can interact, you can have a dialogue about these materials as well. So I think it's a good example of how things are changing piece by piece, more dialogical way. But I think
I actually have an interesting question from the workspace about how do you manage and evaluate knowledge transfer and of course like the success and accomplishment of those online courses? So you went a bit into like how you measure, but can you speak a bit to this?
Also, how we evaluate courses.
Yes, let's start from that. Alex can help us expand if needed.
Yeah, mostly our evaluation is like certain assignments which are more or less accomplished or not accomplished, and if there is a training which includes some contact days, they are accomplished or not accomplished. And in upper stage coach training courses, there might be some specific evaluation of the, for example, tutoring a training or something like that. But that's more or less how we evaluate these courses, like about the participants. I don't know if I answered the right question, but.
All right, we can take some more questions towards the end. Thank you so much, Juha, for sharing the slide. Should we jump back to our or I can share the presentation for a while more, and we also had some examples on the engagement and the feedback from these trainings on the new platform.
Yeah, these are examples right here from the workspace, and maybe the contributions show that the total amount is quite okay, and this is actually the course that was previously on a model, so that one contact day course. So if there is average 30 contributions for participants, I think that it's a great amount participants for one short coaching course. And this data is straight from the platform and from the workspace, so we don't have to use any other ways to collect this information, so this data about one single course.
Yeah, I think that's a very important factor as well. So you can always check what happens when you do things differently, and there is a proof to ourselves as well. Okay, this works.
Yeah, and also, as the previous picture, it is important for also to the educators who are involved in that course. They know after this information which kind of education they have had. Should they increase the amount of contribution? Is there enough contributions, or they can also develop their own skills as an educator when they are having these courses.
Yes.
But this next slide is that, of course, like I said in the beginning, that we have started to collect feedback, because we know that we can think that we have a great platform and great training courses and so on, but we know also that the main thing is what the participants think about this platform and these courses and our workspaces. And of course, we are collecting this feedback to be able to develop this environment further. We believe that now we are really in the beginning, but maybe in 3, 4, 5 years we want to develop, and we want to this environment be even better all the time.
Thank you, Juha, so much for sharing. We don't have that much time left for today, and I just want to save a little bit in the end. So if anyone has a question in their mind still for Juha or for us, for anyone, let's use the chat box in the workspace and make sure that we have some time in the end. But Mikko, do you want to say a few words, like what is Howspace, if someone hasn't figured it out by now?
Howspace is a digital-based in platform environment for all kind of purposes, but learning and development it's one of the things that we have a lot of experience, a lot of clients, and we just heard a great story what there is, what we can achieve with that. And Howspace learning is the real magic. Howspace, and then with a hub, and Howspace hub Juha just showed to you, but it's when I first start to use it in the member organization, that we didn't have a hub. We had another management systems, and those have some challenges. And then the customers have started to ask, hey, could we do the management system which works with the Howspace? And then there was the idea, and now the idea is real, and you can manage, you can administrate those kind of. There is 60,000 people, you have said already. You can do things. You can make people personal paths. Everything is optimized, and like you collect the data, and so tools for tracking qualifications. You can invite people there, and all kind of these things. What we have had, the ideas, and then with clients, which is the best. We are learning with clients doing Howspace Hub. So, and there is very, very important value behind it. It has to be easy. It has to be fun, and you can duplicate things. So it's easy to organizations as well, not just the participants or the person who wants to engage. It has to be easy to you, that you can focus your energy and time on the right targets. So, and if you want to hear more and start to think about your ideas and start to brainstorm with us, there is a space in the workspace, that Howspace, and that you just can tell us to that, and we can start thinking together what we can achieve with Howspace into your organizations. And so, would you like to build your own hub?
Yeah, we have a few questions there dropping in the workspace, where you can immediately get your possibility to hear more about Hub, and of course ask your questions as well. And I am at least inspired, even though Juha didn't really dare to say that you are doing a cultural shift as well. But I really believe in what Mikko told, that when you are having new kind of possibilities for learning and development, that also builds these new types of internal discussions, which is actually changing the organizational learning and development culture as we do it. I would have one wrap up question that I would be interested hearing from Juha. So you showed a little bit of the journey, how you started mapping what kind of tool you need and what you want to achieve and so on. But the world is full of learning platforms. So how did you land on the idea that let's participate on the journey with Howspace, and we have actually built Hub together as a pilot program with our customers, and Football Association has been one of them. So what were the things for you that landed that decision that these are the tools that we want to start developing?
I would say that we did quite a good basic research, and we had maybe 6 or 7 choices to make about the platforms more or less 1 year ago, or year and a half. And as I said in the beginning, and I say again now, the reason more or less why we chose Howspace was that it was easy and it was mobile friendly. We knew that we have to be able to build workspaces and build trainings, webinars, workshops by our experts. And our experts, there are tens of experts. They are not maybe so familiar with the digital learning platforms. So it had to be easy and it had to be simple also for us and also for our participants. And that was the main point. And then of course the easy to use, really visible, visibility in mobile devices, everything this, and also enough features. Not everything that the world provides, but enough. And that was why we choose the Howspace to continue. And we have been extremely happy that we chose this way. And we believe that with these workspaces and now with this hub, we have the best digital learning environment in sports in the whole world.
That's a pretty strong statement. I'm happy I asked the question. Hey, Juha and Mikko, would we be happy to wrap up with this, or is there anything left in your minds?
Juha, please, if you want to say first.
I thank you, everybody. It's always nice to present this our environments, and as I said before, we believe that we are really now just in the beginning, and we have plans to for 4 years from now, 5 years from now, what we would like this environment to be, but we are going there step by step and also learning from our participants. That's how we believe that we will be able to build the best possible digital learning environment that is possible to build.
Yeah, and in that hope or vision or dream, it's like one of the things has been that hub. We have the dream that it will be like a Netflix. It's like from your role, it shows what is important to you, and as an organization, you can guide them in the right way, and everything else is achievable as well. Yeah, and just I'm very happy about this discussion, and Juha, your story is inspiring, because when you know the context and all those steps, what hopefully we could provide to you that those steps and the ground is there is a lot of people, a lot of different roles, and you still can feel this way. So it's very inspiring, and that's why I love this job.
Yeah, this was a good day to be a Howspatian, and thank you so much, Juha, for your time and sharing your story, and thanks everyone who showed up. We have put some feedback questions in the workspace, and of course we are asking there as well if there is someone who's immediately curious to hear more about possibilities of Hub, or if you have any more questions to ask. We will be hanging out in the workspace afterwards. But for now, thank you, Juha, thank you, Mikko, thank you everyone at home, and we will continue the dialogue in the workspace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.